Did you know that the secret to perfect digestion might be waiting for you in your morning cup of coffee, and that millions of people are doing it wrong without even knowing it? I am Dr. Emma, and for over 20 years I have worked with older adults, helping them improve their quality of life through simple but powerful habits. Today I'm going to reveal something that will completely change the way you see that cup of coffee you enjoy so much. We're talking about how 1 or 2 cups a day can transform your digestion, eliminate that uncomfortable abdominal heaviness, and give you the energy you thought was gone forever. Before we start, let me know in the comments where you are watching this video from, so I can see how far it has reached. Let me tell you what I discovered years ago in my practice. Marta came to see me, a 65-year-old lady who had been feeling bloated, heavy, and tired for months. She told me she woke up every morning already exhausted, that her abdomen felt like a stone, and that she had tried everything. When I reviewed her habits, I found something curious. She had stopped drinking coffee because someone told her it was bad for her age. That day, we started an experiment that would change her life. Look, here is the truth no one tells you. Coffee is not your enemy. In fact, it is one of the most powerful allies for your digestive system when used correctly. And there is the key: correctly. Because yes, millions of people are drinking it the wrong way and then blame coffee for their problems. When you drink 1 or 2 cups of coffee a day, you activate a series of processes in your body that are absolutely fascinating. Coffee stimulates the production of gastric acid, which helps your stomach break down food better. It also activates the muscles of your intestines, promoting that natural movement we call peristalsis. It's like giving your entire digestive system a gentle but effective push. Remember Marta? Well, after 3 weeks of drinking her coffee the right way, she came back to my office with a smile I hadn't seen in months. She told me she finally felt light, no longer woke up with that horrible bloating, and had the energy to do the things she loved. And best of all, she hadn't made any drastic changes. She had just started drinking coffee again, but this time following the correct guidelines. Now, let me explain exactly how you should do it to get all these benefits. First, the time of day is crucial. Morning is your golden moment. Your body is waking up, your metabolism is beginning to activate, and a cup of coffee at that time is like revving up a car's engine. You give your digestive system that initial boost it needs to function optimally throughout the day. But here's something very few people know that makes all the difference. For every cup of coffee you drink, you also need to drink a glass of water. Why? Because coffee has a slight diuretic effect, and if you don't compensate for that fluid loss, you will end up dehydrated. And guess what dehydration causes? Constipation, heaviness, exactly what we are trying to avoid. This is the biggest mistake I see in my practice. People who drink 3, 4, 5 cups of coffee a day thinking more is better, and then they complain about nervousness, trouble sleeping, heartburn. Of course they're going to have problems. It's not that coffee is bad, it's that they are using it wrong. 1 or 2 cups. That's the perfect amount. With that amount, you get all the digestive benefits without any negative effects. Your intestines work better, you reduce abdominal inflammation, your bowel movements flow naturally, and you feel energized without being jittery. And let's talk about that feeling of lightness we all seek. When your digestive system works properly, your whole body notices. It's not just about going to the bathroom regularly, it's feeling less bloated, your clothes fitting better, having more mental clarity, more desire to move, to get things done. It's a complete transformation that starts in your gut, but shows in every aspect of your life. I have seen patients who struggled for years with digestive problems, spending fortunes on supplements and complicated treatments, when the solution was as simple as adjusting their coffee consumption. I'm not saying coffee is a magical solution for everything, but I am telling you it's an incredibly powerful tool when used well. Now, let me give you some additional tips to maximize these benefits. Avoid adding too much sugar or heavy creams to your coffee. That cancels out all the benefits we're looking for. If you need to sweeten it, use a small amount of honey or natural stevia. And if you like it with milk, choose a light plant-based option or skim milk. It is also important not to drink coffee on an entirely empty stomach if you are sensitive. A light small breakfast before your cup can work wonders. It can. To be whole wheat toast, some fruit, something that prepares your stomach. And here is the most important detail of all: consistency. The benefits of coffee for your digestion don't appear overnight. It's a habit you build day by day. Every morning, that cup of coffee is working for you, stimulating your system, activating your metabolism, helping you feel better. Think about this. What if every morning for the next 30 days, you drank your coffee the right way? 1 or 2 cups, in the morning accompanied by water, without excess. Imagine how you would feel at the end of that month. Lighter, more active, more energetic, with your digestion working like Swiss clockwork. This small change might be exactly what your body is crying out for. You don't need revolutions, extreme diets, or expensive treatments. Sometimes, the most powerful solution is also the simplest. And it's waiting for you in your morning cup of coffee, so now you know. Tomorrow, when you prepare your coffee, do it with intention. Remember that you're doing something good for your body, something that will help you feel vital and active all day long. Your digestion will thank you, and you will feel better than ever. I just want the content of the text translated, without any explanation or indication. Now then, let me tell you something I've observed in my consultations throughout all these years working with older adults. When someone comes in complaining about slow digestion, that uncomfortable feeling after eating, or bloating that seems to never go away, many times the solution lies in something as simple as reviewing small daily habits. And one of those habits could be precisely that morning coffee you might already be drinking, but without really taking full advantage of its potential. Coffee acts as a natural stimulant for the digestive system. I'm not talking about magic, but proven science. When you drink that cup in the morning, you're activating the production of gastric acid, which helps your stomach process food better. Additionally, it stimulates the peristaltic movements of the intestines, those wave-like motions that push everything forward, facilitating elimination and avoiding that frustrating feeling of stagnation. Now, here's the important part. It's not about drinking coffee at any time or in any amount. I've seen people who drink 5 or 6 cups a day thinking they'll get more benefits, and they end up with the opposite effect: nervousness, insomnia, even stomach irritation. The key lies in smart moderation. 1 or 2 cups, preferably in the morning, is the ideal dose to harness its benefits without overdoing it. And there's something else I want you to know. Coffee has a little secret that many don't realize. It can dehydrate you if you don't accompany it properly. That's why my recommendation is always the same. For every cup of coffee, drink a glass of water. This simple gesture keeps your body hydrated and, further, enhances the positive effects on your digestion. Water helps the fibers in your diet work better, perfectly complementing what the coffee is already doing in your digestive system. Think about this for a moment. Imagine starting your day with that cup of coffee you love so much, but now knowing that it's not only waking you up mentally, but also waking up your digestive system, preparing it to function optimally all day long. It's like giving your body a clear signal. It's time to work, time to process, time to release what you no longer need. I have supported hundreds of people who, simply by adjusting this detail, drinking their coffee consciously and combining it with water, have noticed significant changes. Less bloating, less heaviness, more regularity in bowel movements. And all this without complicated medications, without costly treatments, just making better use of something that probably is already part of your routine. But here's the point no one tells you, one that can completely change your experience with coffee. There is a specific time of day when your body is most receptive to these digestive benefits, a window of time that multiplies everything I've just told you. That time window is within the first 2 hours after waking up, when your digestive system comes out of its nighttime resting state and is ready to activate. It's no coincidence that so many people feel the need to go to the bathroom shortly after their morning coffee. Your body is responding to multiple signals: the caffeine, the warmth of the drink, the simple act of filling an empty stomach. Everything works together like a perfectly synchronized orchestra. Now, let me be very clear with you about something I've noticed in my experience. Many older people tell me they have quit coffee because it seemed too strong or because they heard it wasn't healthy. And when I dig deeper into their history, I find they were drinking it on a completely empty stomach with no food, or worse yet, drinking 3 or 4 cups in a row, thinking it would give them more energy. Of course, they ended up with stomach discomfort or nervousness. The right way to benefit from coffee for your digestion isn't complicated, but it has its nuances. First, never on a completely empty stomach. Have at least a small toast, a fruit, something light that prepares your stomach. Then, yes, your cup of coffee. enjoying it calmly, not like it's a race. And alongside it, that glass of water I mentioned, this sequence completely transforms the experience. I have seen people who have struggled for months, even years, with chronic constipation, taking mild laxatives, trying all kinds of natural remedies, when the real problem was that they had eliminated coffee from their life out of fear or misinformation. When they reintroduced it correctly, 1 cup in the morning, accompanied by proper hydration, the change was remarkable within days. And there is something even more fascinating I want to share with you. Coffee not only mechanically stimulates your digestion, it also contains compounds that feed your intestinal microbiota, those beneficial bacteria that live in your gut and are fundamental to your overall health. Recent studies have shown that moderate coffee consumption can increase the diversity of these bacteria, which translates into better digestion, better nutrient absorption, and even a better mood. Think about everything we're talking about. That coffee you perhaps considered just a guilty pleasure or a simple morning wake-up call is actually a powerful tool for your digestive well-being. You don't need expensive supplements or complicated treatments. You have the solution right there in your kitchen, waiting to be used in the right way. But here comes something very few know, a detail that can multiply all these benefits or completely ruin them. It has to do with the type of coffee you're choosing and how you're preparing it. Because not all coffees are the same for your digestive system, and the way you prepare it can be the difference between feeling light and vital or experiencing acidity and discomfort. This secret has transformed the lives of my patients, and it's about to transform yours too. The secret is choosing naturally roasted coffee, not torrefacto. Let me explain why this is so important for your digestion. Torrefacto coffee, the one that shines darker and was the most common in many homes for decades, is processed by adding sugar during roasting. This process not only changes its flavor, but also considerably increases its acidity. And that extra acidity is exactly what can irritate your stomach, especially if you are over 60 and your digestive system is more sensitive than before. Naturally roasted coffee, on the other hand, retains all its beneficial properties without that excess acidity. It is gentler on your stomach, preserves its antioxidants better, and believe me when I say this, it tastes much better. When my patients make this simple change, many tell me that the burning sensation they associated with coffee disappears completely. They thought the problem was the coffee itself, when in reality it was the wrong kind of coffee. And the preparation also makes a huge difference. If you use an Italian coffee maker, that traditional method you may have inherited from your mother, you are on the right track. This method extracts the natural oils from the coffee in a balanced way, without overheating it. Avoid coffee makers that keep coffee hot for hours, because that constant reheating destroys the beneficial compounds and increases acidity. Your coffee should be freshly made, hot but not boiling, and consumed within the next 20 to 30 minutes. There is one more thing I want you to know about temperature. When you drink your coffee too hot, you not only risk damaging the mucous membranes of your mouth and esophagus, but you also make digestion more difficult. The ideal temperature is between 60 and 70 degrees Celsius, hot enough to enjoy, but not so much that it burns your tongue. This simple detail allows your stomach to receive the coffee without the added stress of excessive heat. And let me tell you about Maria, one of my patients who is 72 years old. She came to my office a few months ago complaining of constant bloating, heaviness after every meal, and constipation that made her feel uncomfortable every day. She had quit coffee 5 years ago because her previous doctor told her it was bad for her age. When we reviewed her entire diet and habits, I suggested reintroducing coffee, but doing it right. 1 cup in the morning, after a light breakfast, naturally roasted coffee prepared in an Italian coffee maker, always accompanied by water. 3 weeks later, she came back to see me, and the transformation on her face was evident before she said a word. She told me her bowel movements had completely regularized, that the bloating had significantly decreased, and that she felt more energetic throughout the morning. She hadn't changed anything else in her routine. She had only incorporated that properly prepared cup of coffee. She said something I will never forget, that she felt as if she had recovered a part of herself she thought was lost forever. This is the real power of coffee when you use it as it should be used, as a tool for your digestive well-being, not as an enemy you must avoid. 1 or 2 cups a day, at the right time, properly prepared, accompanied by hydration. So simple and so powerful.